I just won $5 million in the lottery, and my husband Frank was planning to buy us a mansion. But on the day we moved into our new home, his ex-girlfriend Lily suddenly showed up with a child, crying that her husband had died and they had nowhere to go. Frank was overcome with sympathy and immediately invited her to stay in our master bedroom. Suddenly, there was an extra person in our marital bed, his ex-girlfriend of 7 years. I exploded in anger, but he accused me of being heartless. You know she's a poor widow now. How can you be so cruel as to let them live on the streets? When did you become so cold-hearted? My usually kind mother-in-law also changed her tune. I've heard that rich men all have 4 or 5 wives. My son is rich now so he can afford to marry another woman. By order of arrival, it's only fair for you to be the second wife. Seeing my husband nodding in agreement, I called my lawyer. He thought I had given and unhappily showed his ex around our new mansion. But he forgot I was the one who won that $5 million. I'd rather donate all that money than let him use it to support his mistress. Just after I got off the phone with my lawyer, Frank suddenly appeared behind me, trying to persuade me. If it wasn't for picking you up from work back then, how would I have missed Lily's wedding and caused her to marry that short-lived bastard? Now that her husband is dead and she has a child to care for, isn't she struggling? If I don't take care of them, who will? Listening to Frank's nonsensical logic, I was in disbelief. What's the point of letting her stay in the master bedroom? Are the 3 of us going to sleep together? Why can't they stay at a hotel? Why do they have to live here and make everyone uncomfortable? Lily might be struggling with a child, but wasn't I struggling too, taking care of his mother and our daughter? Frank narrowed his eyes impatiently. Amber, why have you become so unreasonable? Lily and I are long over. If it wasn't for her husband's sudden death leaving her unable to pay rent, I wouldn't have let her move in. Why are you always targeting her? Lily and Frank had dated from high school through college, a 7-year relationship that ended due to long-distance work. Less than 2 months after their breakup, Lily married a rich old man. I met Frank at a bar where he was drowning his sorrows. I thought he was handsome and loyal, and I liked him. Later we ran into each other at work. Feeling it was fate, I added him on Snapchat. As we got to know each other, he gradually moved past his heartbreak, and we had a whirlwind wedding. I remember on our wedding day he declared in front of all our family and friends that I had saved him from despair and was the only love of his life. But now Frank would rather make me cry than turn away Lily and her child. Clutching my chest, I took a deep breath and said, "Are you sure you want Lily to move in?" Frank hesitated for a moment before gritting his teeth. "It's not like I'm making her my wife." "Why are you so angry? That child calls me godfather, so I have a responsibility to take care of them. Besides, now that I have money, only I can give Lily happiness." He ignored my increasingly upset expression, still sympathizing with another woman. "She's a widow now. How can I not worry about her being alone outside with a child? Moreover, we just won the lottery so we can afford to support them. Lily even said she's willing to do all the housework, cooking, and childcare. What more do you want?" Only love could make him care for her so much and pity her so deeply. Frank seemed to have arranged the household duties. He would work outside while she managed the home. And I, the lawful wife, felt like an outsider who didn't belong. Faced with this, I was full of disappointment, but I didn't know what to say. Seeing me lower my head in silence, Frank's tone became harsher. "You know she's a poor widow now. How can you be so vicious as to let them live on the streets? When did you become so cold-hearted?" I looked up in disbelief, only to meet his furious eyes. There was no imagined guilt or apology towards me, only endless anger and disgust. At that moment my heart turned to ashes, and I spoke softly. "Fine, she can stay as long as she wants." Hearing this, Frank was slightly stunned, then smiled and said, "See, if you had been more understanding from the start, we wouldn't have argued for so long. Come help Lily with her luggage." I shook my head and refused. "I wish you two a happy life together. I'll be staying at my mom's for now." Frank's face immediately darkened as he quickly stepped forward to block me. "What do you mean by that?